What's up, guys? It's Essential again with another fast HPAL guide. I just want to go over my experience and where I'm at right now since I found this cool page on Check PvP. You can list or search under rankings by all Holy Paladins. And as you can see here, the highest Holy Paladin's Naughty Mama at 2700 CR. If I type in Essential into the search bar, I am number 17, and I was at 2550 during my Glad push, which would have been the number 6 or number 7 HPAL. If you go under the PvP experience tab and type in Essential again, I am number 26 in the highest experience ever, 3271. And if you go by the Check PvP score, I don't know how this is calculated, but I am number 9, so top 10 on the Check PvP website. Now, as I was going through this and checking the current rating, I noticed in the top 20 HPALs, multiple of them were Kyrian actually, and one big name that I recognized was Angry Cuban has been playing this. So if we open this up, go to his WoW page, you're going to see that he has no tier pieces. Like I had said in the previous video, if you don't have tier pieces, I recommend you play Kyrian. So you're going to be playing Shock Barrier with Unity and play Kyrian. He is specifically Pelagos, whereas the other two paladins are the other Soulbind. Angry Cuban X is one of the best paladins by far. He's been around for a long time. So I have been testing this out in my own games, and I want to show you guys what I've come up with. This is my alt paladin here. I've been playing around 1900, just getting my CR up, whatever. So I built Unity, Shock Barrier, and I'm currently playing Pelagos. I recommend you play these Soulbinds specifically, especially this one. Path of Devoted is really strong. Angry Cuban also runs Pure Concentration Aura every game, as there's a Holy Priest pretty much in every game now, or a Warrior, so you get a lot of value from the Pure reduction. You actually can't see it, but that's fine. I just want to talk about the Soulbinds real quick. You want to play Kleia if you are playing against an Assassination Rogue that is going to train you, because you can file off the bleeds, and not only that, if you're running this conduit on the bottom here, it also grants your file's effects to the nearest low health ally. So if you're really sweaty, you can file off your teammates' bleeds when they are getting vendetted. Okay, this is the only time. It's only versus Assassination Rogue. I don't know what else really causes many bleeds. And then obviously Mikanos, very good choice if you're going to be trained. Number 1, this stun is really strong. 2, it reduces the cooldown of your Divine Toll by like 20 seconds at the maximum. So overall, though, I would try to play Pelagos. You're going to be under-geared, and the last Soulbind of Pelagos gives you a 10% increase to intellect and stamina. So I recommend playing Pelagos, and now let's just go into some of the games that I tried as Kyrian. So I queued up, and I'm playing Windwalker DH. This is what I found. They're supposed to be pretty good players. Let me see if I can mute this real quick. Okay, great. So we're loading into the game on Pelagos. I'm going to be playing Blinding Lights really strong. Before the arena starts, I have Beacon on both of the DPS because we're playing against Red Warrior, and so they're going to be smashing their faces together. And my goal this game as a Paladin is to, as soon as these gates drop, you're going to see I'm going to be building my Holy Power up because they're going to run in and pop CDs as fast as possible. I want to have the Holy Power available so I can heal my teammates. I'm also going to be trying to stay away from the melee so that they can't swap to me easily. And so you'll see this in the opener here. We're running out. I'm instantly Holy Shock into Bestow Faith, and I'm going to cast a Flash Heal. I think I take a sip here as well to get mana back. They open up, Holy Shock again on cooldown, trying to kill the War Banner that spawns, dispel my teammate, and it ended up being bad because he then gets full hodged. What I should have done is just freedomed. You can see here I'm still playing out of range. We get a leg sweep, we get stuns off. And I'm waiting to press wings here as well because they haven't really popped any offensive abilities like I had mentioned previously. You want to match your cooldowns with their cooldowns. So I end up getting storm bolted here. They swap to me. I instantly press wall. It's kind of hard to see, but I wall here. And since it's just the warrior, I'm not really scared of this storm bolt. I don't really need to trinket. So I'm kind of just holding, sitting it, instantly swap Beacon to myself. This is a very key thing you need to do as Paladin. The amount of mana you get back, you get mana back based on if you're healing into a beacon of light target. Number 2, you have the Save by the Light talent, which will proc like a 10 to 20% shield on you when you hit 30% health. So if you're getting swapped to, or if you know you're going to get swapped to, beacon yourself ahead of time. You're going to save HP and you're going to save mana. Okay, so I instantly swap beacon to myself, I'm hodging, and now I want to get away from the melee. I don't want to let their healer be in line of sight of the DPS. We got a para here, we disarm Warbreaker. I see that their Ret has just popped wings here on Omnibar, so I'm going to match with my own wings. I'm trying to heal my Monk. I see that he Aegis. I get full fear here. You can bop while you are warrior feared as well. And so I'm a little worried because the Ret does a lot of holy and magic damage that the bop will not be enough. So I am going to try to play this greedy though. I'm sitting this. He ends up blood elfing it off. I come out of the fear. He presses karma, really good karma. And now I just want to keep building distance and kiting away from them so I can't get like chastised, feared as well, or easily storm bolted or hodged. I would like to get my blinding light and stun off, but in these games, the better paladins are gonna be playing safer because you can wait for your opportunity to strike. You're really just like this tank in the back line, like just tossing out heals, making sure your teammates are safe, and then when the opportunity presents itself, the enemy team is poorly positioned, they run out of cooldowns, then you go in and strike and just win the game the second you leave the pillar. So I'm going ahead, still building Holy Power, still kiting, going to dispel this Hodge. I see my DH blurred. I end up getting Storm Bolted because my APM is slow, because now I'm 23 years old and not 16. So I don't get that Hodge instantly because I'm bad. But we keep going. The Monk is trying to kite here. I'm going to heal him once. And now that I see he's trying to kite, he actually stays in my line of sight here, which is so key. If the Monk had walked around the pillar, I would not be able to heal him. So this was really good positioning by my Monk. He also ring appeased himself so the DPS couldn't connect to him, so he can buy some time. Monks are a very, 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 very paper class right now, so you have to utilize everything in your power to be able to survive. I already pressed wings, so I don't have a whole lot of throughput for him right now. I just have Sack in the back line waiting to press that as a last-ditch effort heal. So I'm just trying to heal him. I see that I'm close to the healer, and here I press Blinding Light rather than Hodge because we're playing against a Ret Paladin. He can use Blessing of Sanctuary on the healer if I stun him and the Ret isn't stunned. We're not in comms, so we're not coordinating this. You normally would want to. So I start with a Blinding Light, and I'm going to end up hodging him afterwards, but right now I'm still focused on healing my Monk. And then getting away from this priest as well. I do not want to get feared after this. So my positioning is kind of questionable here. I think I'm in range of Hodge, but I'm really not. So I end up backstepping, and for like 2 or 3 seconds, I like didn't press a button, which is really bad. You don't want to have like any downtime as a healer or as anybody in arenas. You always want to be pressing buttons, going, make sure stuff is on cooldown. So we're still going. We get a nice stun. My Hodge did get Blessing of Sanct, so I'm going to just keep trying to kite and get away from the priest. I do not want to get chastised and interfere because we're low on cooldowns. I'm running. I dispel this Hodge. Thankfully, I don't get crossed. Just spamming heals. I get Flash of Light. I haven't swapped Beacon yet because I haven't tossed any heals into my DH because he's a god class and they're just never going to die. So here, I see that my Monk comes around the pillar, and now my DH is in 1v3. So here is when I'm going to try to either swap Beacon or just heal him. I instantly swap Beacon. My Save by the Light procs. He's going to be fine. He comes back to the team. We're regrouping, and I'm just keeping my distance against this team. War Banner's down. We're going to break it. I'm trying to hold my Divine Toll here as well as my Sack because knowing that I don't have tier gear, I don't have a lot of heals, I want to save and get the maximum value out of every single one of my offensive abilities or my healing abilities. Divine Toll is a huge, huge, huge heal CD, so you want to use it at the right moment. You ideally don't want to use it while you're winged as well. If you can separate the two, it is infinitely better. But sometimes you get caught with your pants down. In a lot of these games, I ended up pressing both, but just play around with it. Get used to trying to separate the two as a cooldown. It'll help you so much more in between goes. Or like if I press wings with the Ret's wings, maybe I'll be fine, and then I can use Divine Toll for the Warrior's cooldown. So you kind of got to work with rotating your cooldowns. So my Monk is low. He's trying to kite. Another Ring of Peace. I freedom him to get the slow off. I see that they're targeting me. a little bit. I keep wanting to get distance against this team, and if they want to swap to me, they're gonna have to go out of line of sight of their healer, and then they're just gonna die. So I am pre-positioning where I want my team to move and where I want my monk to kite. So I end up going for a bop here. Don't really remember why. I'm not going to backtrack. It's fine. We get a paralysis on the healer. He gets hodged here. I wanted to go for a drink here because I'm about half mana, and if the game keeps going the way it is, we keep trading fine. We're gonna run into mana issues. So I get 2 ticks here. I'm low. I get storm. The warrior leap storm bolts me. I know my monk is gonna die here because touch of karma is not a real cooldown. So I bubble instantly because I don't have a trinket. I'm gonna press sack. I'm instantly gonna Aegis in a second here. Or I'm more focused on healing him first. They're not swapping to me, so I don't need to Aegis. I go for a full hodge on the priest there. The red paladin's gonna bubble, and I'm just keeping my distance, and we end up winning the game. So that's a good example of what you want to do with your cooldowns, how you want to play, what soulbind you want to play into like Melee Cleaves, etc. Okay, so I'm playing Pelagos, and I do swap to the Unbreakable Spirit talent because I don't think I'm going to be running around the map a lot. I'm going to be at the pillar a lot, and if they end up swapping to me and I have to bubble early on in the game, I want it to be back and have a shorter cooldown. It also reduces the cooldown of my wall, my Divine Protection. So I just want to play max range here and try to avoid getting CC'd the entire game. So we get a paralysis into leg sweep. I see this ret is trying to hodge me, so I'm line of sighting him. And the second I pop out, I see that my team is pushing in further, so I have to face this ret. And I end up blinding him into a hodge. We swap to the healer. I freed him myself so that I'm still keeping my distance against this red paladin. I do not want to get hodged here, and I want to stay on the opposite side of the lock as well, so I cannot get feared. So I end up pressing wings here, and my entire team is low, so I end up pressing Divine Toll over top of it just to keep us very safe, because I think the lock pressed Dark Soul. I don't think the ret has pressed wings yet. And I see that my monk is stunned. They're not doing that much damage. I dropped to 60% health, so I press Aegis. My monk had already used Aegis. He gets like to 30% HP, so I press sack. He also fort brooded. I see they're swapping to me, or the ret is swapping to me with wings, so I swap my beacon over to myself. Very, very key. Always swap your beacons, guys, or otherwise you're going to run out of mana so early on in the game. And so here I'm kind of low on holy power, and they still have 10 seconds left of wings. I'm really scared. So now I have to cast Flash Heal into a lock. And I don't remember if he's kick pet here, but I know I just end up free casting these. I dispel the fear here, but because it's very situational. Against affliction locks, you want to be able to get your team out of CC when you can afford to. I have beacon on myself, so any healing or damage I'm going to take, I can just heal back up pretty quickly. And also the ret and lock are very far away from me. I'm at the pillar, so I'm not in danger of being swapped to if I dispel one singular UA. When you're dispelling 2 or 3, that's when you should really consider what your options are or what you're doing. Also, you could press, in dire situations, you can press bubble and then dispel your teammates. Say they have a UA and mind games on them, like on an enhanced shaman. You need to get the mind games off so he can top himself as well. You can bubble into dispel. You can also aura mastery with concentration up to make sure you don't get silenced. You just got to be careful of how much damage you're going to take. You'll feel it over time as you get used to dispelling the UAs. So I end up dispelling the fear there, and now because of that, I can't dispel the Hodge. It's fine. I dispel the mind games. We're still going, just doing damage. My goal this game is to sit out a pillar and let us win in dampening, and let my team just do infinite damage. Monks can one-shot at any point in the game, and DHs are a literal god class, a tank rampaging through city streets, no matter what arena they're in. And we end up killing the Afflock. So in this game, what I did well was avoiding CC. For sure, I avoided the Paladin CC. I don't think I got feared once, chastised once, whatever. I sat at the pillar and PvE healed. This is what you want to do when you're playing against or playing as a melee cleave. You just want to let your DPS play safely, make sure they have freedoms, bop them out of CC when possible, make sure you can't get swapped to, and save as much mana as possible. Thanks for watching. I'm Essential, and don't forget that you are too. Peace.